Hi people! Today I want to talk about the process of speed typing. Have you heard people claim to be able to type others on sight? This is something that we get asked about in our courses, and over many years the partners at InterPersonality have developed a method of accurately determining another person's Psyche-Type, something we call Psyche-Insight. But this involves more than just taking a superficial glance at someone. Back in 1998, the first SpeedReading books were released to much acclaim, but for the Psych-Type industry, ultimately much shame. The greatest affront to the science of Psych-Type have been books that essentially advocate observational labels, which is ultimately stereotyping. In fact, speed typing leads to mistakes like the following. Steve Jobs, clearly a powerful man, must be ENTP or ENTJ. Sigmund Freud, another large stature and powerful man, but certainly not ENTJ. Michael Jackson and Delta Goodrem, they're entertainers. They must be extroverts.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Kim Cattrall, immaculately dressed and clearly enjoys lots of sex, must be SFP.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Carl Jung, highly interested in people, must be INFJ or maybe INTP. Nice try, but no. And as for this guy, or this guy, well, they're clearly that horrible type that I don't like. Look, this is a science, and we draw on documented research going back 30 years. We don't send someone down to a coffee shop to make notes. Neither of these guys are ENTJ, and we can prove it. These profiles are part of our Psyche-Insight course. You can see where I'm going with this. I get it that there are a lot of people on the net who'd like to think they're experts in type. But this kind of mindless speculation, as if type were nothing more than a guessing game, devalues this profound and spiritual science and encourages the use of type to vindicate existing prejudices rather than to promote real understanding. We owe it to humanity to get it right. Every type has something to offer. Only when humanity honours and unites our disparate abilities can we truly honour our divinity and make this world a better place. We take this very seriously. And well, let's just say professionals with real qualifications don't waste their time intimidating and disparaging others. Intelligent debate? Yeah, go for it. If you can show wisdom based on knowledge, a bona fide science, by all means, share it. But if all you have is an opinion, based on what a friend said or the several online quizzes you've selected answers from, please, grow up. Psyche-Type is a science, not a speed guessing game. Type should be more than just assigning a label. If you really want to identify the gifts of others, you need a good understanding of the science, and above all, you must know yourself. If you're confused about your Psyche-Type, learn about the science, then consult with an impartial, professional Psyche-Type practitioner. They'll have a public profile on the net, and if they know their stuff, they should be able to give you more than a label. They will be able to answer your questions and help you understand from first principles what your Psyche-Type means to you and others. Psyche-Insight, by comparison, is the infinitely more beneficial skill of being able to accurately type a person without a psychometric instrument. So how do we get it right? How do you type someone accurately? Well, you can use elements of their physical presentation, but to be certain, you really need to be able to listen to language, observe, or have a conversation. This is the same method applied by Jung himself and Jungian analysts. You'll hear people express their extroverted functions in speech, which will also contain their introverted values. So how do they express themselves? How does the person react to interaction with others? How do they react when confronted with something more challenging, something other than just ordinary conversation? So it's like having a mental list of qualities: appearance, dress, gait, language cues, body language, gestures, all of which you use as a guide. When you find you can check enough boxes in one camp, you can be pretty confident you've found the person's correct type. If you find yourself with boxes checked against several different types, then you have to look for more information and also ask yourself whether there are any additional factors that would explain the discrepancies. This can include things like, is this person under stress? Is this a survival adaptation? Is the person protecting themselves by adopting a persona to please others? Is this person sufficiently mature that they have individuated beyond their base type? Finally, if you really want to get Psyche-Insight right, the most valuable assets you can have are a thorough knowledge of psych types and plenty of practice. We all have insights and blind spots. When you learn with others, swap notes and compare observations, you're far more likely to reach the correct psych type. Don't waste your time speed typing. It is the scourge of the science, ultimately little more than rough guessing or speed labelling. Those who claim they know have already demonstrated their ignorance with many, many obvious mistakes, documented in their books or on their sites. Take the time to fully understand the science, so you can do justice to every living soul you touch. When it's done accurately, discovering psych type can be an empowering and profoundly validating experience. But if you get it wrong, you can leave people feeling disillusioned and confused about the true nature of self and psych type as a science. You'll find some of the people we've researched and profiled on our Famous and Gifted channel and in our Psyche-Insight course. You can find my team's qualifications available on LinkedIn and published on our website. If you have a particular query about type, send us your questions and we'll put up a video response.